So yeah, welcome back to Ladies All. As you can see, it's raining pretty hard here today, but I wanted to get this video done for you guys. This video is going to be about how I preserve my beets without canning them or without storing them in sand or peat moss or anything like that. Now I do them this way specifically for one reason, for my beet juice. So I'll just take you guys along and show you step by step how I actually do it. So I guess the first thing we have to do is actually just clean the beets off a little bit. Try to get the dirt off them because you don't really want to have dirt in your beets once you get ready to dehydrate them. Yeah, that's what I'm actually going to do. I'm going to dehydrate my beets today to make beet powder. I'm pretty sure you can buy this in grocery stores. Maybe, I don't know. I've never tried. I have no idea. I don't really go to grocery stores. But I would suggest if you want to have beet powder, just go buy some fresh beets at your farmer's market. And you can do this, and it works quite well. But I have tons of beets this year. Now I also can beets as well. They go in bottles and they're water bath. And they're cooked and blah blah blah, but I don't do that for my beet juice. The reason I dehydrate them is because it saves more of the nutrients in the beets. It doesn't degrade the minerals and the vitamins or anything else that's in them. That's why I like to do dehydrating. So yeah, this is the pulp of the beet. This is my dehydrating mesh, or my dehydrator. I'll show you guys what it actually looks like. But right now, what I'm actually going to do, I'm just going to kind of spread this out a little bit on here. I don't care if it's perfect or not. And that's pretty much what you got to do. Now you can also use the peeler to do it. But I find if you use the peeler, what happens is you end up getting, like, the flakes are a lot bigger, obviously, and it would take like 4 times as long to dehydrate. So I just do it on this thing. That's why I said it takes a little bit of time to get this done, and it takes quite a bit of time in the dehydrator too. Because the trick with the dehydrator when you're dehydrating beets is you can't turn the heat up high. It has to stay fairly low. I keep mine at about 85 Fahrenheit, and that usually takes, a good 20 hours for the beets to dry. I'll show you guys all that, but this takes me usually about 2 days to get my beet powder ready. Like, this is just one, I guess, fairly large beet. And that's pretty much what I'll put on one tray. Now this will shrink a lot once it starts to dry. That's why I don't worry about it being, kind of stacked up a little bit on top of each other. I try not to push it tight together because I do want the airflow to go through this. And it will just help better. Now once it starts to dry, it's probably going to go down through the mesh a little bit, which I don't care. It'll just go to the bottom of the dehydrator, which is fine. So that's one. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trays that I'm going to be doing today. That's how many trays that I have for my dehydrator. So yeah, there's oh, there it is. I need this thing because you don't want to put your fingers too close to on the mandolin. You don't want to be too close to this thing because the blades on this, they're like razor blades. They're really sharp. Now the reason I'm doing my beets the long way on the beet itself is because the strands will stay longer and they won't fall through my mesh quite as easy. This will just go down to the piggies because once it gets to a certain point you can't really keep going. Now this is a bit of a messy job, but you know, like they say, somebody's got to do it. This is the dehydrator, and that's the beets on there. That's the first tray. And there's another tray that goes on. Like I said, there's 5 of them that will stack up, and I'll turn it on. Once I get it all in there, I'll get it turned on, and I'll set it at 80 degrees Fahrenheit and leave it for however how long it takes. If you put least amount of beets on it, the beet pulp, the quicker it will dry. But I'd rather let it run for a little bit so I can get at least, you know, 2 or 3 bottles. Which I don't even know if I'll get to. Well, yeah, I should. Because beets are about, I'd say about 60% water. So once you dehydrate them, they do, and blend it all up, which I'll show you what I actually have to do to get my powder. They do really shrink a lot. You can probably put, I'd say, like the beet that I just did, and probably this one, which is a fair size beet, and maybe even one more in one small 250 milliliter bottle. That's how much they collapse or dehydrate and shrink once the moisture is taken out of them. Now there is other ways to preserve your beets for winter, but I find that after about 2 or 3 months, the beets actually start to shrivel up a little bit. And they don't have the same texture or flavor left. So they're probably okay if you're cooking them or doing something like that, but I don't cook them for my beet juice. And I do, you know, use beet juice every single day. My wife finally started using it as well. So now we're going through a fairly large bottle, a jar about 1 liter. We go through that probably every 3 days, 4 days. I can use pretty much any grinder. I just use this one because I find it's just easier on the arms than the stand-up ones. As you can see, today I'm out on my back deck doing this because I find beet juice tends to get everywhere, and out here I have a stainless steel counter which I can just wipe it off with water and it'll go away. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to let you guys go until I get all my beets done. This is the dehydrator. I noticed on my video I never showed you guys, but yeah, this is all my beets packed on each tray of my dehydrator. So yeah, this is pretty much all I do, is just kind of keep it loosened up a bit. Now once I close the lid and turn the dehydrator on, then I won't touch it no more until it's dry. So yeah, it'll probably take quite a bit of time. So yeah, it almost took 26 hours to dehydrate the beets at a low temperature, which like I said was around 85 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So it takes quite a bit of time, but it's important not to overheat it because you don't want to lose any of the nutritional value. I'll show you what it looks like now once it's dehydrated. That's my dehydrator. And this is the beets. You've seen how much it was piled up on here. Well, this is how much it shrinks down. So right now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take all of this off my dehydrator. I'm going to put it into my little blender here. I'll show you guys. I'm just going to put it all inside here. Now a lot of this is falling down below because I bet you there's way more on the bottom trays than there is on the top ones. Because once it dries, it kind of breaks up a little bit and it's kind of sinks down a little bit more. So I'll put a little bit more in there. Don't want to put too much in there because you really want the machine to be able to blend this really well. You want it to be just like a powder. So I usually put about a quarter one full. You can tell that I've used this one so much that the glass on it's kind of stained a little. So it's going to be a little bit noisy for a few seconds. I'll show you which one I'm using here. Now it's pretty dusty because it is dry and you're turning it into a powder. I'm not sure how well you guys can see that. I'll grab a spoon. And I'll show you guys. You've seen that this thing was almost half full with beets. Now that's about how much you got out of it. Maybe 2 tablespoonfuls. Yeah. So what I'm actually going to do now, I'm going to take 1 tablespoon full, just to show you what I actually do with my beet powder, is I'm going to put it into my big blender. I'll put in just 1 tablespoon today because I still have beet juice in my jug that I keep my beet juice in. Now what I'm actually going to do is I got to go to my water filter to get some water. Now if I was doing a full one today, I would have put in maybe 2.5 tablespoons of beet powder into this thing. But because like I said, my bottle that I usually use my beet juice in has got probably a half of one in it already. So what I'm actually going to do is just pop that on here. Now this is all noisy because it's blenders, right? So only for a few seconds, just enough to beat it in with the water, mix it up really well. Now the other thing I do is I got to go over here. This is cinnamon powder, organic cinnamon. Now the main reason I use cinnamon powder is not because of the taste, it's because cinnamon actually helps your body, or helps control your insulin levels in your body, and because beets has quite a bit of sugar in it, so this actually helps curb your insulin response, so your insulin don't go quite so high. There we go. That's beet juice. That's my healthy juice that I drink every single day. Now, let me grab this one out of the fridge. This bottle here usually lasts my wife and I about 3 to 4 days. All depends on how much my wife drinks, because I drink the exact same amount every single day. That's it. That's how I make my healthy drink. I just mix this around a little bit because you want to mix in the new beet juice in with the existing beet juice. So, but I keep this thing pretty much, once we get down to about a quarter of a bottle, which is about 1 day serving, we usually make up another batch of beet juice. So, and I'll show you the glass that I have every day. This is the glass that I use every day, which is about about 1.75 cups of beet juice is pretty much what I drink every single day. And it's usually a morning drink that I take. So So yeah, that's pretty much how you do it for, with my beet juice, from powder, well, from the beet to the dehydrator to the blender and to my juicer for making my beet juice. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a great way. You can store a huge amount of beet powder in a very small space. Like I said, this thing in here was half full, and I probably got enough powder in here to do one more full one of these. And that was just on the one tray, and now I got to do the next tray, and then the next tray, and then the next tray. So I got to get a bottle for it. Okay, so we got the bottle. This is a 250 milliliter bottle. Now one of these will probably, I'd say, do at least 20 jugs, maybe even a bit more. So one of these will last a full month. That's probably the best way to say it. Probably a bit more than a month, but safely a full month of pretty much beet juice every single week. Yeah, maybe more. I've never really taken the time to measure and see exactly how long one of these lasts, but I think I will, and maybe when I do a video about this again sometime, I'll know exact the amount of beet powder you need to create a liter of juice every day. Well, not every day, every 3 or 4 days, that you would need for, say, for 6 months or 7 months while you're waiting for your new harvest to come in. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Maybe consider subscribing, smash that like button, leave me a comment, and stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks for watching.